everyone, namaste. Welcome to another episode of Pawcast with Sneha. Before we start today's episode, I just wanted to address a small little thing because the festivals are in at the moment. We had Diwali celebrations a couple of days back, and post Diwali, the situations in the road when it comes to dogs becomes very difficult. There are so many lost dogs, so many run away dogs who do not get to come back to their places because they don't recognize. It's a humble request to all the viewers who are watching us, who follow us, and who've seen our work to be a little mindful for the upcoming festivals like New Year's and Christmas while bursting crackers or making loud noises or lighting up your houses or the streets, etc. Just be a little mindful of about the community dogs and try not to disrupt their ecosystem in order to fulfill our process of enjoyment. And I think that will make it a much more safer space for the children, for us, and for the dogs as well. So with that note, thank you very much for supporting our channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Every other episode, I say we try to bring in some very special guest, some very special person who has a niche story, a different story, who have had their challenges in terms of animal welfare, but they are also working in a 9 to 5 job, having a family, and especially most of these guests have been women till now. And I mean, we all know women are great multitaskers, and similarly we have a very, very special person here today with us also. Welcome, Soheli.
Thank you.
To the podcast. And just before we get on to the questions, I'd just like to give a little bit of information about her. So she's an influencer, but that's like a next thing that comes into the picture. But she's a complete corporate 9 to 5 person who works with an organization called Thermofisher. She's worked with other organizations in the past as well, but more than anything else, she is a proud mommy of two amazing, amazing dogs, Shiro and Snowee. They are beautiful, they're amazing, and they keep her on her toes all the time. Apart from being a pet mom, she's worked with in the sector of rescuing for a long, long time. She's an independent rescuer and doesn't work in support with any particular organization, but she has done a lot of rescues in her lifetime, and rehabilitated and helped in rehoming them. She also feeds a lot of community dogs in her community and other communities as well. And most of the dogs, I think, knows her as their parent also as much as Snowee and Shiro. So I will let Shohini talk a little about herself, and then we will get on with the question. So welcome, Soheli, to our
Thank you.
podcast, and let's have a fun conversation today. Tell us a little bit about yourself, as in like a little intro about yourself.
So from my beginning when I came to Bangalore, I used to feed dogs because from my childhood it has been there. So when I was a child and I had one dog, his name was Bhulu. So in Bengali household, you will find all these names, Lalu, Kalu, Bhulu, Ishti, Chontu and all the stuff. And I had two cats,
Right.
Chutki and Pushi. So I have grown up with them, and it has been always there that I have to be kind to animals. So like who stays in our vicinity. So my parents had always taught me that, do not harm them, do not do anything which is wrong to them, and just feed a biscuit and let them wag the tail at you. So that was my first thing, and I always followed that. So when I went to the college and then university, so I have been with the dogs all the time. Wherever I go, they will find me.
Yeah.
So that has been there. And then when I came to Bangalore, so I used to feed dogs here and there on the go. Let's say I'm going to office, I'm giving them some biscuits, some treats, some dog food. But by that time, the responsible feeding was not there. I was just, doing on the go. And the thing came into my life when the COVID started.
Yeah.
So that time I saw the situation was really different. All the eateries were closed, and the dogs were all hungry. Nobody was there to feed. And that time I was working in Biocon. So I used to go to office every day because it comes under the special service because it's a pharmaceutical industry and I did not have the
Work from
opportunity
home.
to do the work from home. Then I was seeing the dogs around and I felt like from where they're eating now, nobody is filling the water. I mean, all the restaurants, the biryani shops, the small joints are closed. From where they're eating now, and then I thought, okay, let me start feeding them, and if I find out anybody, I'll ask for the help as well, so that we can do
Yeah.
together. So it will not be the burden at
One person.
on
Yeah.
one person. So that was the thing. Then there was resources were very less actually. You will not get the things online, and shops were closed. Then somehow I used to order pedigree, then rules, some chicken, some rice. So I used to cook at home, and while starting for the office, I'll drop the food and go. And honestly, the outside environment was so peaceful because no cars were there,
Yeah.
no disturbance were there, and I saw some police vans were crossing by, and they never stopped me, by feeding the dogs. So it was always peaceful. So I started feeding them, responsibly every day. And then the thing was like some days were there when you come back from office, you feel so tired and you just don't want to go out. But the thing was there, like, I don't know they're fed or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I started going every day, like every day twice. I used to go as to check on them, and it became a habit. And that incident started from 2020. So now it is 2025, and it's been 5 years,
Yeah.
and there is no looking back. So
Yeah, amazing to know, because like rightfully said, once you start doing this,
yeah,
maybe it starts off as a very casual thing and on the go thing, but then of course it's always in at the back of your mind that when you are eating, that did they eat, did they
yeah,
have
correct.
some water. So, and that's how responsible feeding starts. And I mean, hats off to you that you thought about it during COVID. I think that was something which was not, I mean, could not have been thought by a lot of people, but yeah, you are one of them who has.
Yeah, because the time was different by
Hmm.
that time, right? People were not out,
Hmm.
shops were closed.
Hmm.
So I
Yeah.
was wondering from where they're eating right now, and
Yeah.
that's how it started.
Oh, that's amazing. That great job. So you've mentioned this a couple of questions. So you mentioned about your first pets, Bulu, Chutki, the cats, Bushi. What did growing up with them teach you about kindness and responsibility, like as a child?
Yeah, it was always fun question for me by that time because I was also a child,
Hmm.
and I used to play around with them. And I always had a soft corner for dog because they were clingy,
Hmm.
unlike the cats. I do like cats, don't get me wrong, guys. But it started with Bhulu because when I used to come from school and I used to see his tails are wagging, his ears are up, and he just coming running towards me. Initially I used to get scared that, I mean, children, they do get
Yeah,
scared like
yeah.
when they see the dog running. And my parents told, so whenever you see a dog, the first thing you can do is like, do not run.
Yes, yes,
Do
very
not run.
important.
Be calm and let the dog approach. You will understand the dog is aggressive or not. And one thing that, the very small child or any infant should not be unattended.
Right.
I mean, now the parents, they do question, right? My dogs are coming to my kids and all, they're running to my kids. So you are also there, right? You can
Right.
also teach your
Yes.
children, and you can protect if something wrong is happening.
Correct.
So
Correct.
anyway, so my parents were always there, and they used to tell me that do not run. And my parents, they always feed. Now also they feed their old people, they feed in their area. So it has been always there that be kind to them. Maybe you cannot save 100, but
Yeah.
you can do good for
For
one.
whatever. Yeah,
For
exactly.
one. So be the one and do the right thing. So that is a thing has been there always. And I always shared a very nice bond with them. I used to play with them, I used to pull their legs, sleep with them, and they have stayed with us very long time. And Bhulu passed away. I mean, it was a cruelty case, I must tell you. But I by that time we did not know what to do.
So what happened? Someone on the street.
Actually, somebody had beaten him, and he passed away. And he was actually, what happens, like in Kolkata there is like, you see the gali and all,
Yes,
right? There is
yes.
house and there'll be some area. So he used to come to our house, stay, sleep, everything. And sometimes he used to roam around with his friends and all. But for 3 to 4 days, he was not coming, and we got very scared, like, what happened? What happened? So my father had a cycle, and me and my father, we went for searching, like, where is he right now? And we saw the body, and it was very traumatic thing for me at that point of time. I just could not digest. And as a child, I promised myself that, when I'll grow up, I will not let that happen to any dog. Because that time I was a child, I did not know what to do.
How old were you that time?
I was studying in a third standard, maybe 6 or 7 years
young,
old. Yeah. And I just could not tolerate that. I cried so much, and I did not know what the reason behind it.
Yeah,
Why he got beaten like that.
exactly.
So my father took the body and he did the rightful thing. But I was asking my father what we can do. Can we complain to somebody? But by that time there was, I mean, people,
Even today,
that
there
awareness was not
Yeah.
there. I mean, still we have something right now. We can go to police station and all. But by then, though, it was something else. The situation was very different. We could not do much. Then I started protecting my cats more, so that nobody should, I mean, harm them.
Yeah.
If they are going somewhere and not coming back by 1 or 2 hours, if I'm back from school, I have to look for them around, like, where are they, where are they. So I have always done that, and my parents taught me to be kind, to be nicer to them, not to harm them, and what to do and what not to do.
Correct.
So that is a very important thing right now, which parents should teach their children.
Definitely.
What are the things you should, you should follow when you see an animal.
Yeah.
It could be any animal.
Yeah.
And
any
also
animal,
make them understand there's a difference, domestic animal, in between domestic animal and the wild animal.
Correct.
So dogs, cats, cows, they are not wild animal. They are not snake or tiger.
Yeah.
You should not teach your children
That all animals are
very dangerous. They
or
might bite you, and they will do something which is very harmful. Let's not do that.
I think that's what we are also trying to address in the workshops when we address to some of the high school students, especially, or even the smaller ones, so that they can go home and tell that. And we always tell them that, if one person, so each person can do their bit to take care. If you can't adopt, it's fine, but at least you can feed. But again, never go alone and feed. Take a parent with you, take a grown-up person with you. And like you said, so important to understand the body language, to see which dog can be approached. And that cannot happen in one day. If they keep on feeding them every single day, it will slowly start building that relationship and the connect.
Yeah, so I see nowadays a mix of crowd, so where the parents are scared of dogs, but they allow their children to touch my dogs, which is a good thing again.
Yes.
But there are certain people, and they just hate it. They are not scared of it, they hate. And they are teaching their children the same thing. I must tell them, do not do that. If you do so, your children will not become a good adult.
Exactly.
It is not possible. So you have to teach your children the kindness, basically, to be
100%.
kind to the other living beings.
Yes.
It could be anybody. It could be the elderly, some person, their grandparents, their nannies, your maid, your cook, right?
Correct.
So the kindness can start at any point of time with anybody. It's not necessary that you have to do with
just
only
with the
animals.
Or humans. That's what we said, that for children, I think especially the best model to learn kindness and compassion is through cats and dogs that they encounter every day, and that kindness will reflect in all other relationships. But I mean, my message and expectation from all parents for the next generation is also going to be, hopefully, that they are more cautious and they are more aware. That's why awareness is so important, right? And there are people like you, so many feeders, and so many people who have pets of their own, but also take equal care of their street dogs, which is very, very important, and there shouldn't be any differentiation. So I mean, that's a wonderful thing to do. And for the part where the cruelty comes in, that's what we should also tell children of this generation, that even if you are not cruel, but if you see someone being cruel, you have to voice it out. You have to call for help, call a grown up or elderly person, or if you are a grown up yourself, just go and tell that person to stop.
Correct.
Or do some kind of intervention,
Yeah.
because otherwise this kind of cruelty is
Yeah, it is actually, cruelty was there. It has been there. We live in such time where so much information is available in social media,
correct.
and the social media and some news channel, they put up some fake news through
Correct.
AI and all those stuff, and people get triggered without doing the fact check.
Correct.
Let's take the Delhi incident, right? They could not report a single rabbit bite case. But what happened? The Supreme Court, that this thing had lit the poured the ghee in that cruelty again.
Right.
People did not go back and check, like what Supreme Court, they stayed the order.
Yeah.
Now the order is different.
Correct.
They are not doing that.
Yeah.
They only caught the old thing,
Yes.
what they
Yes.
said, that dog should be in the pound, and
Yeah.
every dog is a rabid dog. No.
Yeah, in fact, while that conversation was on, that the entire statistics, the entire data which was there for the bite cases were also incorrect.
Yeah, correct.
Because they were literally, how do I say, counting the number of shots that were taken for one rabies bite.
Correct.
But for one dog bite, because one dog bite is equals to one dog bite. It's not, the bite number of bites cannot be counted as per the shot of the injection. So that was a completely wrong data, which was also pointed by Menka Gandhi.
Yeah, and also I want to add some point here. So I do see so many elderly people, they do feed roti and something to the black dog on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I'll go to the root cause analysis. So what happens when your logic doesn't work?
Yeah.
That's where the religion
comes in. Yeah.
Right. In the morning, they do throw the stone to the same dog, and after the Shani Dev puja and all, they go and feed the dog.
Because your mythology or your culture says that you should feed an animal.
So if you follow your religion, then follow it blindly.
Yeah.
Don't do half and half then, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You are beating the same dog, then you're feeding the same dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you should not teach the things to your children.
And that is hypocrisy as well.
It is hypocrisy.
Just like I said, this after Diwali, the amount of litter for firecrackers that were there in the same space where residents complain about, if your dog is pooping over there, that you should keep it clean. The same place is left completely unclean by them.
Correct.
So it's completely, utterly hypocritical to do that.
Yeah, I mean, people make issue about the one dog poop, and you see the garbage is full of
plastic,
shitty things, and it is lying on the road.
And it is not just affecting 1 or 2%, it's affecting them, it's affecting little children also.
Everybody.
So nobody really talks about it. In fact, something so funny happened a few days ago. Someone on LinkedIn, and this person who wrote this article is a founder of a mental health organization, and he wrote about, just kind of mocking, in a mockery, it felt like a mockery, that he wrote that, thousands of people have flooded social media by writing how dogs are being affected for bursting firecrackers, but this is actually pointing a finger at my faith and my religion and my religious beliefs, and it was horrible. And I also commented, and some people commented, that how is it funny if a dog is getting affected by these firecrackers, and if it's not just a dog, if a person with a mental
I know that Diwali is all about light, not the noise. I don't know in which book it is mentioned that you create a noise and God will be so happy over you. I don't know. No. Even if it is there also, I really don't go by this, because Diwali is all about light. It's all about the family. It's all about your inner feelings. It is about the peace
giving out to other people. And it's not just about dogs getting traumatized. There are so many humans who get traumatized.
Humans, cows, you call them Gomata, right?
Yeah,
Gomata
exactly.
and all the stuff. So I saw in Haldur Road, so I was crossing by that, I think that 20th October, that evening I was crossing that area. I saw one cow is running.
Yes.
and
That's
so all
horrible.
the cars were stopped and the cow was so disoriented. I had to post on my social media.
Yes.
It's not only dog, it's about the birds,
Yeah,
it's about the
birds, the
dog,
cats, the
cows,
rodents, every
every
single.
single living being is disoriented because you're creating the noise. And if you have a heart patient at home,
Yeah.
do you think it's good for them?
Definitely not. And not just that, there are so many people suffering, and this coming from a mental health professional was more shocking, because there are so many
Yeah.
grown up adults and children who are, sufferers of mental health issues, like proper, like, ADHD or PTSD and things like that. For them, it's a complete no to
Obviously.
go through something as traumatic as bursting of firecrackers. So that was very, very shocking for me, and I had to write back that, with all due respect, I mean, this is like unwarranted to listen from someone, in the
Yeah,
name of religion and faith and
yeah, that is
things like
like
that.
you are spreading some misinformation.
Yeah, that's
Right, that is
totally
not
like,
correct.
yeah, a lot of perceptions from people. So we already spoke about how well your parents have, made you understand as a child itself how to be kind to
Hmm.
animals, etc. So do you remember, like, the first time you helped a stray animal by feeding them, or just
Uh,
like by playing with them as a child?
yeah, so from my childhood, I used to play with dogs.
Yeah.
Whenever I see a dog, I used to go and I kind of understand their body language.
Yeah.
It is like God's gifted, and also my parents taught me. I was never scared,
Hmm.
and also I got bitten by a dog, and I came back home and I was crying. So my father is like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
Then I told him I was playing with her children, and suddenly the power was off,
Hmm.
and from somewhere she came and she just beat me.
Hmm.
And when the light was on, and then she left my hand, I still have the bite mark. Then my father said, "So it is with everyone. You did the wrong thing.
Yes.
Let's say if
Yes.
you are playing somewhere and some unknown person is coming to you and touching you, your mother will not be okay with that,
Of
right?
course.
And you did the same thing with her children, and
Hmm.
she was not around by that time. You did
Yes.
not take her permission.
Yes.
Animals do have emotions.
Yes. And they also need to be, asked for consent.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I understood that I did wrong,
Hmm.
and that's
That's
how.
what is so insightful and impactful for people to understand that. And I always tell also that, nobody, like, a lot of people come and say, "Okay, I was just walking, I was attacked by the street dog." I always fail to understand, and then try to ask them that, don't you tell me what have you done. That time they can't remember most of the time what they have done, but there has to be some kind of an instigation which comes from human side, I feel, for a
Yeah,
dog to react like that.
yeah. Also, the dog's speaking language is barking.
Yeah.
They cannot say hi, hello, sorry,
Yes.
namaste, and all those stuff.
Yes.
So what happened? Let's say some dog is sleeping somewhere in the corner. If
Mm.
somebody is walking by, he will just wake up and bark.
Yeah.
Who are you? I'm sleeping. Don't disturb me. Go.
Of course. Yeah. We would do
Right.
the same.
Yeah. The barking is not attacking.
Yeah.
So you have to get that right. What is
Yeah.
attack and what is just like the dog might bark at you. It is very normal.
Yes.
They cannot say you hello. You are passing by. Okay, bye
Yeah.
bye. That will
Yeah.
not happen.
Yeah. Correct. Absolutely
So
correct.
attack is something different. So people are reporting this fake incidents. The dog attack, dog attack.
Mm.
So do we really know what
Yeah.
exactly happened?
We don't
And
know.
when a
Yeah.
person posts something on the social media, other haters they jump in, and there's a
Yeah.
big fight always.
Yeah.
As I said, like we live in such time that where so much information is available,
Yeah.
but we don't do the fact check.
Yeah. And if you are on social media, you have to be a responsible
Yeah.
social media person, whenever you're posting anything, whether it's about your personal life or about a social cause or something.
Correct.
So that's very important, which also is a big concern.
Yeah.
Because, and now especially with the onset of AI, there is no fact
Yeah.
checking
There is
at
no
all.
fact check.
Whatever the AI gives out to you is fact checked and then sent to you. So that's also a concern.
If a dog simply barks, that's not an attack. I mean,
Correct.
you have to get that straight and
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely. Yeah, totally understand. So we already spoke about your journey, like how it started during the COVID time, etc. I just want to also again go back to that phase once more and just ask you how emotionally and physically challenging it was during COVID. Like you said, and how
Yeah.
many dogs were you like overall feeding every day?
So I think there was 8 to 9 dogs, if I remember correctly. And emotionally, physically, it was really challenging because we were in such time that where I cannot see my parents, I don't know
Hmm.
what is going on, I cannot go back to them, I have to go to my office, I have to wear a mask and a sheet for all the protection. And yeah, when you're physically tired, emotionally eventually you will go down.
Hmm.
And right, and resource was very less, you cannot meet people, you cannot talk to people. But yeah, but the thing was, it was a piece of a mental challenge which I faced during that time, but it was also a calming thing for me that I'm doing something good for
Hmm.
somebody.
Hmm.
And also, I was available on social media, and I volunteered myself to find out the number of beds were
Hmm.
available for the COVID.
Hmm.
So I was doing that thing also,
Okay.
not only for dogs. So I
Hmm.
did that thing. So I was tracking down. So there was a group formed in COVID, who was volunteering
Right,
for
right,
the
right.
name of the hospitals and how many
Hmm.
beds are available, and the injection shot. I forgot the name completely right now. So
Hmm.
how many shots are available, where you can get it, and you
Hmm.
can volunteer, and your number should be on 24/7, and people can call you. So
Hmm.
I volunteered for that. So
Oh,
I was
that's
doing that
wonderful.
service also. So I was occupied, that at the end of the day I was little, like,
Yeah,
emotionally I was drained
of
out,
course, because so
like
many people around you were dying,
dying.
and I think, for you to go out there and feed the dogs and to at least make sure that you are not letting them die out of hunger was, I think,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big
So
sense of relief.
as I mentioned also, I saw some police van from Bangalore
Hmm.
city police, and thanks to them, they did not stop me.
Hmm.
So
From feeding, yeah.
yeah, they did allow, they just saw and they went by. So that
Hmm.
was a nice thing.
Yeah.
So I used to drop the food, I used to pet them a bit, because I
Hmm.
was on my mask and all, I was
Hmm.
following the protocol.
Hmm.
And nobody was there, so social distancing was there, so nobody
Yeah,
was around.
yeah,
So but
yeah.
it was peaceful, I must say. Now it is more chaotic,
Oh, yes.
but it was more peaceful by then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. So yeah, I mean, that was, I mean, I'm sure, like, that was a big mental this thing for you, but also thankful because you came into that feeding
yeah,
journey from
yeah,
there itself,
yeah, yeah,
so that's always a benefit. When you had to move away and found another family to continue feeding, like from
yeah,
your previous location to the new
yeah,
location, that's such a, like it's a transition and
yeah.
everything. So how did that transition happen, and what happened, like, after you left? Do you still go to that place, or are there other people who are taking care of those
Yeah,
dogs?
so there are strong community now.
Okay.
So it is near the Hosapallia road, the
Hmm.
Somsundarpalli. You see the dogs have
Yeah,
collars and all.
yeah.
So they are taken care of, because I do cross by the road every
Hmm.
single week or something. Once a week, I'm crossing by the
Hmm.
road, so I can see all of them.
Hmm.
And like when the COVID was fading away, people
Hmm.
came back and they started doing office and all. So while feeding, I saw that it's not only me, there are some other people also. There's one young couple who was doing that, and they had two indies at home. I did not know by that time, because I was not doing responsible feeding. In
Hmm.
COVID I started, so
Hmm.
obviously I did not see them
Hmm.
previously. But when the COVID was little less and people started going out and meeting people, then I saw them that they are feeding.
Yeah.
And then I requested them that, I'll be moving out soon from here, it's not so far,
Hmm.
but if you can take this dog in for your feeding service,
Hmm.
and I can do some donation from my part,
Yeah.
how much is possible from my side.
Hmm.
And they did agree. The
Hmm.
dogs are still there,
Oh, that's
they are well
wonderful.
taken care of, and that's how it is. And I wanted to tell everybody, so I know it is a challenge for
Hmm.
every Bangaloreans who do who does 9 to 5 job, and they might get job in another city, another country, they might move
Yeah.
to the abroad. But please find out the community,
Yeah.
where other feeders are available.
Yeah. Like, you can hand over
You can
that.
hand over, because
Yeah.
eventually the dog is getting dependent on you,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden you just cannot leave,
Yeah. You can't just stop feeding
you
them.
just cannot stop. I have seen so many people,
Hmm.
suddenly they stop going.
Yeah.
And I asked them, like, what is the reason behind it, why you're not going? If at all you're not going, are
Hmm.
you asking for help?
Yeah.
Are you looking around, who are the
Yeah.
people around, who are the feeders?
Yeah.
You can do this such small things before you move out from the area, right?
Exactly.
That everybody can do, it does not
Yeah.
take much
Yeah.
effort to find out.
Yeah.
Right, that has to be done with every
Yeah.
responsible feeder. Just
Yeah.
and also do not give only biscuits.
Yeah.
Biscuit is not the food.
Biscuit is not the feeding
Yeah,
process. It has to be like
yeah,
properly cooked food or dog food or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
That, yeah, and I think, like you said, it's so important to even have a very strong feeder community,
Correct.
which many localities or societies do not have. I think that's also very important in individuals like yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
then, there's always like a one or two strong people who are more deeply involved, so they can obviously educate the rest of the feeders, and
Correct.
turn it into a more
Yeah,
stronger
correct.
community, because
And
like you said, this
Mhm.
handing over will become much more easier
Yeah,
if the community is
yeah.
strong.
And also, I'd like to suggest people that if you don't find a feeder community, let's say you are the only one over there,
Hmm.
nobody is around. So what you can do? There are a lot of services available right now.
Yeah.
They do provide community dog food, and they have a feeder service.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, they do have. So there is Canine Fist, there is Romi's Doggy Uta,
Right. Oh,
right?
these Romi's doggy, I've heard they make this
Yeah,
homemade
even
food, right?
Canine Fist.
Okay.
Anurag is
Yeah.
Waxity, Anurag
Yeah.
Verma. He's also making community. Please reach out to them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
will help you out.
Correct.
You have to pay the charge. Obviously,
Of course.
nothing comes without a
Of course.
cost.
Huh.
That is not possible.
Hmm.
But please reach out to them. You will get the numbers. If you ask a single question in Facebook groups, there are a lot of groups
Yeah.
available. If you
Yeah.
ask a question, people will help you out
Hmm.
with the answers, and you will find the
Connect, some kind of
right
a connect.
connects that you can contact them. That I'll be moving out. I'll be not staying here at all.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can come. I'll pay you the charge at the end of the
Yeah.
month. You
Yeah.
can come and feed my dogs and send me the photo and the videos. All are safe. So that
Yes.
also can be
Yes.
done. And if
Yes.
you find out nearby feeders, you can just ask them that can you come once in a week and check, because I know the feeders are also overwhelmed with
Yeah.
their
Amount
own
of work
thing.
and
Hence, you take the
yeah.
service
Yeah.
and ask the feeder friend to come at least once a week and check on your dog
Right.
to see that they are okay or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, the most important thing is to have a community
Community.
and make it as strong as possible. And
Correct.
this goes in terms of feeding as well as in terms of adoption and fostering. Like, if you cannot always adopt a dog and keep at your home, try to go for passive adoption, where you,
Correct.
again, you said, from maintaining anything in your life, you need to have some money. But if you really like a dog but you are not in a position to get them home, do a passive adoption. If
Correct.
someone is helping you foster, at least offer them all the expenses that
Hmm.
will be required
Hmm.
for the dog, so that
Yeah.
it's not pressured on that person also, and it solves your purpose also.
Correct. Correct.
So all these things can actually be done, all of this: active feeding, passive feeding, active adoption, passive adoption, all of
Anything.
this
Yeah.
can be done. The only thing gap is the awareness and the
Awareness.
compassion and the kindness,
Yeah.
which is, I think, not so difficult for humans to cultivate as and
Yeah.
when they grow up.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I mean, I just hope that people listen to this, like many other podcasts. I'm sure people should listen to us also, because I am
Hmm.
trying to build a strong community where people voice out their experiences. And like, you are also in a 9 to 5 job, you have a family of your own,
Yeah.
you have
Everything.
so many other
Yeah.
commitments,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But it is not taking you away from the commitment that you've made towards these dogs. You
Correct.
somehow chalk out time,
Yeah. Right.
and if you are not able to, you ask for help. You've
Yeah.
also reached out to people for
Yeah.
help, and
Yeah.
there have been help given. So
That's how you learn, right? That's how
exactly,
you
and
learn.
there is nothing wrong in asking for help. So I
Yeah.
think that is something that people should learn, and take it as an inspiration and work on it. So
Yeah.
that's the
Correct.
whole purpose of doing this podcast, and
Obviously.
calling in people. Now we'll come to your influencer journey, and how we, so while working your corporate jobs and then taking care of a family and your two own dogs and everything, so how did this idea come out? And you mentioned, and we saw some very funny videos
Yeah.
created with your dog. So how did that idea come out, and how difficult was it to train your dogs to pose, or just to sit and do an activity?
Yeah. It happened all of a sudden. There was no plan as such. So we were on social media, but not so active.
Hmm.
So last year, I was just scrolling the Instagram and I saw so many funny reels, and I thought, why can't I, do this with my dog? Will they do it?
Hmm.
That was the first question came in my mind. Then Snowee Shiro is always a poser.
Yeah.
Whenever they see camera, they do something. And Snowee is food motivated. So if you give him a treat, he will do anything you want. You can make him do anything. So that was the thing that I could do with them. And then I started making videos. And slowly it clicked. People
Yeah.
started liking. And also, I do not make too much serious videos and gyan things and all. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to listen.
Yeah.
It is all about the fun and to share my bond with my dogs
Yes.
and how do I treat them. They are not only dogs,
Yeah.
they are my kids, and how
Yes.
do we start the day and how do we spend our holidays and
Yes.
stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
that is all about it.
Yeah, I
Social
think
media.
that's also very important. That if you have pets and you choose to become an influencer, the influencing doesn't only have to be related to giving some kind of a preaching or some gyan, like you said. It can just be to share your moments with your pets, and also to make people understand that how that's when we also connect mental health with pets, that how it makes such an impact and such a difference in your life to have pets. Like you
Oh
can do
my
all the
God, they
fun
are the
things.
healer. They are the
Yeah,
healer.
you can do all the fun things in life. They add so much joy to your life, your travels, your everything becomes just like children.
True.
Everything
True.
surrounds and is around them.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people are also, I mean, choosing to have pets rather than having their children, which is all, and some are very conscious choices. So that's also like something very, very brave.
Yeah,
And
they are nonetheless than children, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is individual choice. Nowadays, we are in 21st century, and it is not necessary to have a baby, like a human baby,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
People do have that.
Yeah.
That is their own choice,
Yeah.
and people nowadays they have dogs and
And
the
babies,
and the
yeah.
human babies.
Yes.
So they are dealing with all grace, and they are happy.
Yes,
So there is
yes.
no difference between the dog and the human baby,
No.
because the dog means to me is happiness, and
Yes.
they are such kind of a species who never grows up.
Yeah, and they will. I think the unconditional, selfless love that you get from them cannot is not possible for humans to give
Yeah.
that to you, no matter how much they love you.
Yeah, so
So-
that clicked in my mind in my childhood. I used to ask my father, like, why dog is the only animal who wags a tail at humans.
Yeah.
They're the only animals,
Yes.
right?
Rightly said.
They just do connect with the people, and they just wag their tail no matter what. They're hungry, they're hurt, and dogs, they do take the pain away from you.
Yes.
They heal you at the end of the
Yeah.
day. When I was going through like my tough times, everybody has their own
of
tough
course.
times in their life. So they are the healer for me. They help me
Definitely.
so much, and they're the motivation for me to wake up in every morning,
Yes.
call my feeder, where are you? Okay, you come down, I'm coming. Then I go for feeding again. The evening time, I'm going for feeding. I do have office.
Yeah.
I do have my sick days. I do have my meetings, everything I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just cannot leave them behind.
Yeah, it's part of your schedule. So definitely. So I mean, yeah, that's what it's important for influencers to also show that side of pet parenting, that just the enjoyment part, just the happy moments that you have, without obviously causing them any kind of danger. But yeah, just to make people realize that you can just have them as a part of your family, and nothing really gets affected that way, that badly. Social media can often be about glamour or trends, but your page reflects warmth and empathy. How do you balance authenticity with the influencer side of things? Like,
so I don't make videos such influencers with the light, camera, action. That is not the content. So we share like what we do.
yeah,
The funny things.
yeah,
I do give massage to my dogs. So that's the content for me. I
Yeah.
don't have to, decorate my house and put the lights on now. We have
Yeah.
to be in the action. Nothing like that.
So
it
just the
is
natural,
just
whatever
like what
you
we
do
do.
on a
That is
daily basis. Yeah.
simple things what we do in a day.
That's amazing, I think, because that's what social media is obviously so constructed, and you have to really script it out. That is what I'm also trying. I'm not a social media person, but the podcast also I can't do. So I'm just holding a mobile and asking questions, because I don't know how to do a scripted thing, and it feels
I
very
also
unnatural.
don't know. I also don't know.
Yeah.
For every occasion, I deck them up. I just put them some clothes on her, and they must be thinking what she's doing.
Yeah.
But like when you have a child, you do this,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You get your child ready, clean them up, and make them
Yeah.
understand that something is going on today,
Yeah.
which is special.
Yes.
and you will get some treat.
Yes.
So they understand the treat word,
Yeah.
and rest of the thing is history. You give me the treat, I'll do
I'll do
anything.
anything. That's wonderful. What kind of messages do you usually get from your followers? Good and bad, mix of both.
Good means, yeah, that they love my dogs. We have a small fan base. Touch wood.
That's
We
good.
got
Yes.
we got a small fan base, and they always encourage us, and we are connected always. We talk about so many incidents which are happening around the country and all. And there are some people who will come back and they have problem with anything.
Yeah.
Trollers will
Trollers.
be everywhere, no matter you do what. So they will be everywhere.
Whether you are a celebrity or you are a simple ordinary person, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
So they will troll, and like the real bash comes nowadays that you have breed dogs. What about the
God.
indies? And honestly, when a person is commenting such things, I go back and check on their profile. Is there any feeding video they have posted? How many dogs they do have at their
What
home?
experience do they have with dogs?
None. They want to troll you.
Yeah.
That's the only motto, because they are
Because that's the trending conversation, right?
Yeah.
And this also, I want to say, I also might be trolled after saying this, but I will say it. Recently, I was telling also that someone that over a period of me starting Oh My Dog, I realized that actually, first of all, there is no differentiation for me between indies and pedigree dogs. They are all dogs, and they don't know whether they are pedigree or not pedigree. Second is that I think for indies who are grown up on the streets, they automatically have a natural instinct, natural survival instinct, and they can survive and mold and themselves to the atmosphere because they are meant to be from here. Compared to pedigree dogs, who are obviously mated and brought out of got out of breeding, and from day one only they are shifted to a household, right? Somebody buys them, and then after for pedigree dogs, abandonment happens like that only, right? Once they are a little grown up, they are abandoned for so many reasons, or sometimes they are breeder discarded. So even if they're with the breeder, they are always indoor dogs, right? So when they are abandoned suddenly, for them it's a completely they can't protect themselves. They cannot protect themselves because they don't know. They are completely in an unfamiliar atmosphere. So I would say that in pedigree dogs who are abandoned are more unlucky in terms of indies who are on the streets. So for me, of course, you also need to love your indies. Like I said, for indies, you can still take care of them on the street by feeding them, by being nice and gentle to them. But yeah, if someone is bringing a pedigree dog, but he's also a rescue, they should not be scrutinized or they should not be judged for that.
But people judge you in every way, in whatever you do, right? That's what I said. There is no difference in between the indie dogs and the pedigree dogs, right? In our community, if you see indie dogs, they are well maintained and they are well fed, they are vaccinated, they are sterilized. Then you don't have to bring all the dogs that to your home.
Correct.
It's not mandatory to do so.
Let them be, because they are supposed to be there. That's their habitat. But like you said, responsible feeding and inject their vaccinations, their sterilizations, and then they are safe. They are safe, and you are also safe.
Right. And coming to the breed dog, I'm seeing so many breed dogs are getting abandoned on the street
every single
and
day.
I don't know where they will go, and they don't know how to survive.
Absolutely
They
not.
don't know how to navigate the roads, right? They have never done it.
Usually that's why you'll see these pedigree dogs who are abandoned, they are found in the same spot where they are left. They don't move around like a street dog will move around from one place to another.
They cannot fend for themselves.
Because they don't know what to do.
Don't know. And also they are getting attacked by the other dogs. I have rescued so many breed dogs, Pomeranian, Labrador, Golden Retriever. I found him in really
terrible
bad condition.
Yes.
In really bad condition. And people, when they see a puppy, it's like a toy.
Correct.
Right. When the dog grows up, it comes with a responsibility. It comes with a responsibility, and then people cannot continue that, and they end up abandoning them on the street, which is a punishable offense. Which is a punishable offense. You cannot give away your child, right? If you are moving to abroad, if you are going through some financial problem, some kind of a different other issues, your personal issues, will you give up your child on adoption?
We ask the same question to so many owners who abandon their parents.
How can you do so to your other baby? Because they have never thought so. Because they got the dog home because it was a toy, it was a cuter one, and when the dog grew up,
yeah.
and now the
Yeah.
story is different. Now it is an responsibility, extra responsibility and burden for them.
But if it was a human responsibility, they
They
would
would have taken that, no?
taken that. That's the awareness issue, that this constant distinction between human and animals. But at the end of the day, they are all living beings, and they are
Correct.
two different species, but they also have blood and bones and lungs, and they are breathing the same air that we are.
Correct.
I think we as humans only have to be responsible and speak up
Yeah.
about it, and make
Correctly,
sure that no
correctly.
one does that.
I also wish that all indies should get adopted by
Yes,
one
yes,
day,
yes.
and we do not see any stray dogs outside. You made them stray dogs. They are
Yeah.
not stray dogs. They have been always a community dog.
Correct.
You made them stray dogs
Yeah.
because you have taken their place. You made this
You made
high-rise
buildings and
and
things
all.
like that.
Where they will go now,
Yeah.
right? You made them stray dogs. Raste ke kutta hai, stray
Yes.
dog.
That's a
So
very
if-
very good point. When you hear it from someone else, it makes more sense. That rightly said,
So
they are
that
we
is
are
the
the ones who
place
made
where
them
you are
stay.
living in right
Yeah,
now.
we are the ones who have intervened and
They have been
taken
there
their
always.
space.
Their grandparents were there, then their parents were there, they are
Yes.
born there. Now you are staying there.
Yes.
So do not call them stray dogs.
Yeah.
They are community dogs.
Yes.
You are not taking care of them. That is a different choice.
Yes.
But they are not stray.
You are the one who have come into their community and build
Correct.
your community.
Correct.
Definitely makes sense. You mentioned facing cruelty and backlash from residents. That must have been very, very
Oh my God.
difficult and heartbreaking. Can you share one such incident with
Yeah.
us?
I used to stay near HSR. Later on, I moved towards Hosa Road. Now I stay in Mahavir Ranches. I'll tell the apartment name so that if anybody watches it, they should learn from this video.
Yes.
What happened was when I moved in, Snowee was there. Shiro wasn't happened. I saw the dogs inside, and I saw all of them skin and bones. I used to cook food for my dogs, and as I rightly mentioned that I used to feed the dogs, I used to make extra so that I can feed them. And then I started going in every evening, and I used to find them out, trying to make friendship because they used to get scared of me and all. Then slowly, slowly we became close. And while feeding, I used to see like a lot of people were passing by and they were giving me a shitty look, like what she's doing. Then I was like, "Ki, maybe people are not liking it. What am I doing? But let me continue. Let's see what happens." Then slowly, slowly, things got really bad over there. They were trying to relocate dogs, and there were some hate messages on the Telegram group that they were posting. I was keeping quiet. Ki, chalo, I'm new here. I should not intervene. Let me see what I can do. My first thing was like, how can I vaccinate the dogs so that I can show something? These dogs are vaccinated, and every dog is not a rabid dog, right? So if the dog is vaccinated, you are safe. The dog is also safe. Then I tried to reach out the nearby vet, and I vaccinated them. And the next thing was how to sterilize, because I saw some puppies were born. It was like more than 15 dogs. Now it is 10. It was more than 15 dogs that time, and it was a huge task on me to prepare this much food for 15 dogs. So I used to mix with dry food and the chicken and rice all together. The next point was like, how can I sterilize them? Because the puppies were very small and the mother was feeding, so I could not sterilize the mother because she was feeding by that time. Amid all this, what happened was like people started following me, where she's going and where she's feeding the dog, so that they can get some proof and post my photo on the Telegram group that it is not allowed. I was so surprised, like feeding an hungry soul. How can does that be a crime?
And the worst part is that they are doing the crime by literally following someone and taking pictures without their consent.
I kept quiet. Chalo, let me do my things. When I sterilize them and vaccinate all the dogs, I will have some documents with me, and which is not illegal, which is legal, and they are doing such illegal things, right? So I was keeping quiet. Then slowly my all dogs got vaccinated and 50% female I got sterilized. Then what happened? They killed one puppy. They poisoned. And that time I could not keep calm. I was keeping low previously, and after that I just lost my mind, and I just fought with 1,000 families that this cannot
happen.
it is not justice towards your humanity. You cannot do this. You can follow me, you can insult me, you can do thousand things, but this is not justified. How can you justify this act? And that's where the BBMP came into the picture. But before that, they have harassed me like anything. Matlab anything.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so important to just fight and speak up.
What I find nowadays, when a people stopping a feeder, the feeder gets scared. Oh my God, I will not go. Why? You're not doing anything wrong, right?
Exactly.
If you feed the dogs, clean the place, and
just don't make it messy.
Go in an hour, like when the children were not playing, when the place is not crowded, which is away from the crowd, and do your feeding, clean the place, and come back. Right? It is very important for a feeder to know the rules, what you should do. You should not litter the food. If you feed a dog to any particular area, do follow that routine. Dogs will get trained that my human will come, he or she will feed me at the particular time, and I have to be present there. The dog will eat and they will go. Right? Feeder also, they should learn these things, and you should not get scared what people are telling. People will tell thousand things. If you tell you jump in the fire, will not do, na?
You just have to maintain the protocol and not be scared. If you are maintaining the protocol, you always have an answer to tell them that you are not disrupting anything else, anybody else.
So why you're stopping feeding? If you're not jumping to the fire, then why you're stopping feeding?
Exactly.
Which is more important, right? And also, I would like to mention, when the dogs are fed, they only sleep. When their belly is full, they sleep. They will not come behind you. They do not even bother who are you.
Exactly.
If they're hungry, they will come behind you. They will think that you might have some food, and they have to chase it.
This is a exact point we put in the workshops also, that if a dog is belly full, has no thirst or no hunger, then the dog is never going to get aggressive. They will sleep, they will rest in peace, and so will you be. If a dog is ever being aggressive, there has to be a reason behind it. Either they're injured, they're feeling some sort of pain, or they're hungry or thirsty. Otherwise, they would not. And I hope, and very weirdly, a lot of children, because I especially go to schools and do it, a lot of children actually don't know this, that how hunger and thirst can cause so much of distress.
Obviously.
Where I do a role play with them, where I ask them to imagine if you haven't been given food since the morning, how would you feel at this moment? Say you didn't have breakfast, you didn't have lunch, and I'm not allowing you to go for your lunch break. Then children come out with emotions. Ma'am, I'll be angry. I will break this. I'll do that. And then I tell them that, oh, see what you're saying, like that. I mean, it's not rocket science. Like it's very easy to understand.
I don't know why do people have this problem feeding a dog.
And the funniest part is that among these people only, I see so many parents coming in the scooter with their children. They don't feed animals. They are feeding the birds. But the way they litter it, they just throw the cranes like this, and the whole place is littered. And the birds will come, they sometimes don't eat the whole thing. It's just like that. And the same people might raise a voice when they see a feeder feeding.
Correct.
But
and
they
also
have done
they
this
will throw the sukha roti here and there. That the
all
cow
the
can
time.
eat, the bird can eat, the dog can eat. But when you do a responsible feeding, that time they have a problem. And so by that time, I'll go back to the incident. What happened? Then BBMP came into the picture, and I would like to thank Rashmi Natsena from Asha Tells of Hope, then Manjari Chaitanya from SBC, Vikas Bafna from Friends of Animal Trust, and also Harish KB. They did a lot for this apartment fight and all, and we got a feeding point. And we have a feeder, and nobody can stop you. And it is very important to make this apartment people know that there is a law.
Yes.
There is a law, and you cannot stop a feeder from feeding the dogs.
After that Delhi High Court incident, it was told, right, that there will be designated feeding spots identified, which obviously hasn't happened in all the areas. But I think every apartment, every neighborhood has to go and impose that. And only then BBMP is going to step in.
BBMP will not know where you are staying. You have to reach out for help. You have to ask that I am facing this backlash from my apartment, from my community. How can I help my dogs?
Yes.
If you are scared and hiding in your home and your dogs are unfed, then again you are going to back to the zero. Your dogs are hungry. They are chasing people. You are also not at mental peace. It is mess again. Why don't you ask for help?
I think all apartment complexes should learn this. and such various experiences from people. And I think implement this. Every apartment community has a set of feeders, or
Right.
rescuers, or people who take care of
Correct.
the welfare of the community dogs. They should all do it for their designated apartments and not depend on BBMP to be successfully able to install feeding spots for all
Yeah, you
locations at
can
the
get the
same time.
notice,
Yeah,
because
at least you
people
can.
do get
Yeah.
scared of government thing. When you have a government seal on that, people will not tell you anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is also important, that you get a government
Yes.
order
Yeah.
that government is allowing, and you are not anyone to stop that
Yes.
right
Yes.
now.
Yes.
It is
I think
also
that's
important.
what truly true influencing means. Also, I feel like this is also some very responsible influencing that you are doing, which is, I think, all influencers should do, whether they're animal influencers or any other kind of influencer. What would you say to people who complain about feeders or community dogs without understanding the full picture?
I always try to counsel them at first that leave and let leave.
Hmm.
The dogs have been there.
Hmm.
You came in and you made this apartment, you bought an apartment, and also they're not staying at your doorstep.
Hmm.
Feeders are also not feeding at your doorstep,
Hmm.
right? You might get scared of dogs, which I really agree, and I value that you should not be dog, like every people. I cannot expect that they'll be dog friendly, right? That is not possible.
Yeah.
But at least if a person is trying to help, let's not stop that person. Let him or her do their job, so that you are also safe. Dogs are also safe. They're sleeping with the full belly. Your kids are also not chased,
Yeah.
right? And also try to teach your kids to be empathetic. It's not necessary that you are scared of dog, so your children also should hate
be.
them.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it is not the right thing,
Hmm.
right? See, you might not love your own parents,
But you won't teach your children to
yeah,
hate their
yeah.
grandparents.
So you don't want to do that, right? It is the same logic works here also.
Yeah.
When a person, a feeder, is trying to do something good for the community, let the person do. You are not doing, it's okay. You are not shedding any money from your own pocket, right? The person is not asking. But when a person is trying to do something good, let the person do. You should
Correct.
not stop it.
Have you seen any positive change that has happened in your apartment after all these implementations?
Positive change means some few things I would like to mention, that I see kids are not scared that much how they used to be. Some kids are playing with the dogs.
That's
and
nice.
I hope their parents are watching from their balcony and they are feeling okay, chalo, some right things are happening in our community. And it is not so positive, but they are scared of all this government fussy
Yes.
mess
So they
incidents,
think
and all this thing might happen because we have a law, we should not do this. That fear also should be there. For
100%.
any crime, for any criminal offense, for any bad thing, you should have a law. Thankfully we have a law, but it should be a better one.
It's a process.
It's
Small differences.
Yeah,
So
small,
that's what counts.
it will happen in near future, I believe. Some positive things are there,
Yeah.
and people have,
Even a slight change, shift in mindset
Yeah.
is also.
and now they're used to it. Ki chalo, the dogs will be there. We cannot do anything right
Yeah.
now.
Let's not just
Let's not
mess with them.
mess with them.
Right. Before we come to the final question, I just wanted to have like a quick rapid fire shots questions, like anything funny or weird that Snowee has or Shiro has done, or any quirky behavior nature that they have that you
Shiro
want to share.
snores while sleeping, and that is very, very worse than my father, I would say. How he's doing at his age right now, Shiro does this even more bad. Even sometimes I do get up like, who is doing this sound? And Snowy's habit is very weird. In early morning, when I'm in my deep sleep, I figure out that I'm sleeping in some twisted position or something like that, because Snowy has taken the place,
pushed you
and had pushed me in the corner, and I'm twisted and getting my neck pain and my back pain. That Snowy does every morning. I don't know why. In night time he'll be sleeping in his own place, but so in the morning time I don't know when he comes in. I think around 6 a.m. or so. I don't know. I have never checked the time. But when I get up, I see that I'm in the corner and he's sleeping like a king in the bed.
I think all dogs, that's funny, but that's also so adorable, right?
And also I'd like to mention that there's a song, right? somebody's watching me, it's my
Ah,
anxiety.
yes.
My Shiro is that somebody. He will follow you wherever you go.
Yeah.
He wants to keep me in his radar.
Yeah,
What am I
I
doing?
think it's with Momo here. Even if I'm going to the washroom or just to the kitchen, she will be always, if not coming completely behind me, but I can see her peeking and looking at where I am.
I
Like I'm
can
watching you
hear
all the
the
time.
sound that he is exhaling so badly that some sound like a pig that I could hear from the door if I'm inside my washroom. So I will hear that sound. So Shiro is a somebody for me.
That's funny. One myth about street dogs you wish everyone knew the truth about.
That street dog means rabid dogs.
Yeah.
Every dog doesn't have rabies. Come on, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
The
High
rabies
time that
dog
everyone.
cannot survive on road. When a dog get rabies, right, they do isolate themselves. They do not stay in a crowded place because they know something is wrong with their body. Even every animal is like that.
Yes,
Whenever
yes.
they're sick, they hide.
Yes.
Rabies dog is also like that. They hide and they try to not to bite people or not to bite their pack or something like that. I believe because I've seen rabid dogs and they do hide badly and you cannot find them. And also it is a very bad myth that every dog is a rabid dog. No, it is not.
Yes. Earnest request to everyone from Soheli, if I'm correctly pronouncing it, and myself also, that this is like, I think, correct, the greatest myth, and everyone should be aware of
कि
that.
कुत्ता काटा तो rabies हो जाएगा.
ऐसा
नहीं
नहीं
होगा.
है. हाँ.
For precaution, obviously you can take the rabies
Yeah,
shot if
yeah.
you're bitten by a dog,
But
but that not necessary that is the dog is
correct.
has rabies or something
Correct,
like
correct.
that. No.
If you could describe dogs in one word, what would it
So
be?
dogs they mean to me happiness. I feel so happy when they're around me. I'm a dog person.
Yes.
I'm
So
biased.
dogs are your person.
I'm biased, guys. I'm a dog person. They find me anywhere.
Yes.
If I travel, if I go to any other places, they find me.
That's amazing. Even I am a dog person. Anywhere I go, I don't think there's a single day in my life, even if I'm sitting at home and not going to work, somehow I will have a meeting with a dog. I will have an encounter with a dog. And it's just always, since I've been into this field and with having my own dogs, I am always in and around dogs. If you don't find them, they find you. A dream you still hold for animal welfare in India?
I just want to see the world without any cruelty. It's not for only dogs. It is for every living being. The cruelty is such a thing that as a human I cannot tolerate. And let's say you are in a rush and for your irresponsible behavior somebody lost their life. That is not justified. Right? I just want to see the world in near future where there is no cruelty. And all the animals are fed.
Yes.
They are not fending.
They are not
for
dying
food.
hungry.
People do have the myth that stray animals they do found
They find food.
They do find their food, but it is not true. Where is the food? You tell me. Where is the clean water? We have covered everything. There is only garbage.
And so many of us actually end up wasting food every single day. What we eat, we throw off so much of food. Instead of throwing that, we can just feed it. At least they are not, even if you can't afford to buy dog food or cook food, just give your whatever food you have.
Correct.
Whatever you're throwing off, don't throw it. At least it'll be better than the garbage that they're eating. Right? They're not going to eat plastic.
Even nowadays,
or something.
I see cows are also eating plastics.
Yes.
It is not.
It's horrible, especially on the main roads. I hate it when I see these herders taking the cows in the middle of the street and leaving them. And why would, especially say for example in a street like Harlu, where would they find grass to eat?
Correct.
Or any kind of green? Why are you bringing them out here? Either you provide greens in the place that they are in, or you take them to a different place. So,
people do have this thing that strays animal they will find their food by their own. No, it is not possible. There is no food available. Come on. You cannot expect an animal to do so. And
that's why our entire ecosystem, our entire is messed up because of not just pollution. There's so many other things, which is why we don't have trees, no greenery around us.
So we cannot afford a farmhouse, so we are making a house farm kind of a thing where we are putting the plants inside our house because we have ruined everything. Now there is no rain in Bangalore, right? It was so nice.
So all of it is interconnected.
Correct.
to end our session, our podcast today. Of course, it was lovely to chat with you
Thank
and to
you.
have you here. And
Thanks for calling me. Thanks for
thank you
having
so
me
much
here.
for coming and joining this cause, because this is just again my way of, I am not a rescuer, and I don't think I have it in me to have that kind of courage to go and pick up an injured dog and do that much. I don't have that courage now. I might have it, but I try to build awareness, which is what I feel I am good at. I try to do my bit, and try to tell people, all everybody cannot be a rescuer, everybody cannot be a feeder, but you can be something else which will also help the cause. You can be an educator, you can be a podcast host, or you can just talk about things and or feed or just educate people. Do your bit and do whatever you can for your community dogs, whether they're cats, dogs, cows, birds, whatever. So to finally wrap this up, any message that you want to give to, especially to young listeners, who love pets but probably are not able to take because they're too young, but they want to when they grow up and are
Yeah,
independent.
you can always feed your local community animals, and also you can ask for help. The Gen Zs are more on social media. What are the information available? What are the services are going on in Bangalore or outside of Bangalore? You can always reach out to so many service provider who can help your dogs, your community dogs, and also you can volunteer for the cause. Right?
Yes.
There are so many events will be happening. Please watch out for those events on her page also, Oh My Dog,
And
and
your page also,
yeah,
definitely.
please
We will
volunteer
mention
for
it. Yeah.
that and come and meet the dogs and cats, and yeah, make a connection and be a good human being in near
Yeah.
future. That's all I
I
can say.
always say that when there are these adoption drives happen, it's okay if you don't adopt, but just
Yeah,
come and interact with
yeah,
them, just be around them. And every school that I go to, I see different sections of
correct,
children,
correct.
and some children, they just spend the day there just to play with the puppies and the kittens, and that I feel is an impact. I'm really grateful to Soheli for coming here and doing this with us and talking about her experience. And thank you so much. Very, very appreciative of the fact that you are so vocal about it.
Yeah,
And influencer, the concept of influencer is to influence in a
yeah,
positive way, and of course to also share your own experience, but also to talk about that
yeah,
experience and how other people should do it.
yeah.
Very, very thankful for doing this, and lots of love to Shiro and Snowee. Next time we'll try to have them here. We'll try to do a gathering
You
of
will
all.
go bonkers.
No, I love having animals around. And so yeah, I just want to say that please remember to be mindful about your community dogs and about your own dogs who you have at
Yeah,
home.
correct.
No matter whether you are adopting a streetie or you are buying, or of course it's not a great thing
Cause,
to
yeah,
buy, but if you already have a dog,
yeah,
you better not abandon
yeah.
them.
Do not
Do not abandon
abandon.
them. If you have a dog, whatever they are, a pedigree or an indie dog, learn how to take care. If you don't know, if you are confused, watch out. There are so much of content
And
online.
also if you see an injured
Yes.
dog or any
Yes,
cats,
call for help.
yeah, just do not leave the place. Try to
Hmm.
take a video picture and call out for help. People will be
Yes.
there to help you. I know that rescuers are busy,
Yes.
they cannot always answer your calls,
Yes.
but at least take them to the nearby vet,
Yes.
and then
That's
you
the
figure
first thing.
out
Yes.
what can be done.
Hmm.
If you are unable to do so, you ask your friends,
Hmm.
you ask your parents to help you. So yeah, do
Yes.
not leave them behind because
Yes.
they're already suffering. If you can save a life, that's worth it.
And a very important message, I think, to a lot of people who also want to rescue, but they are not experienced.
Correct.
I would always suggest that if you don't know how you are going to take the initial responsibility,
Correct.
you either ask for help. If you don't get that help, just make that dog comfortable, give some food and water, some medication, and
Correct.
let them be, or inform a body who can come and check on the dog
Correct.
whenever they have time, rather
Correct.
than you taking them in at a whim and then don't know what to do with them,
Correct.
because it's not easy to get dogs adopted, whether they're pedigree or not pedigree dogs. It's very difficult to get them
Correct.
adopted in a very trustworthy and safe home.
I think people will learn eventually, because
Yes.
when on my initial days, I also did not know what to do,
Hmm.
but now I know what to do. So
Yes.
I think if you start doing this, you will get to know what are the
Yeah.
things that are available, what you can do,
Hmm.
to whom you can reach out.
Correct.
So we'll learn with time.
Sure. Thank you everyone for watching our episode today. We will be coming up with more interesting conversations with different kinds of people into animal welfare with their experiences. Please subscribe to our channel and keep watching Pawcast by Sneha, powered by Oh My Dog, for more such content. Thank you so much for watching.